I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go. The first one is, should NCAA athletes be paid?
That's a touchy subject because you gotta look at it like it's only 2 rounds in the draft. It's only 62, 64. I think it's either 64, 32 NBA teams, so that's 64 players that get drafted every year. And mostly the first round is like one and dones. So, I mean, I think they should create a system that the best athletes should get compensated, but I'm not going to say every NCAA athlete should get paid because then you got to look at all the other sports and all the other programs that don't generate money, and then it'll create like a domino effect. But then you got to look at it as, if it's just for money, then what about the education aspect of going to college and getting a education and that whole like experience? Because technically they're supposed to be student athletes. They're not just athletes. So now when you put the money in it, you're taking out the whole student aspect of it. Because imagine if a player, imagine if LeBron James went to college and they paid him, let's just say, $300,000
for the year, or
just say for the year, or for his. Well, LeBron James would only have to go to college for 1 year, so it would definitely be for a year.
Okay.
So let's just say if LeBron James went to college for 1 year and they paid him $300,000, he doesn't have to go to class. Y'all paid him already. Like his job would be to play NCAA basketball, not to go to class. So that takes the whole college aspect out of it, and that's my concern about paying players. Should players get paid? Yes, I'm in agreement with that, but I'm also in agreement with the child getting the education. And what about the student athletes that can't go one and done? And how would that affect their education process with the whole collegiate athlete situation?
So you're saying, well, because I was just speaking with a Lyft driver who was a former athlete at the University of Pittsburgh. He ran track. And he's on this whole thing. His idea was very similar to yours, but he also said that if they did give them money, they should say, like, well, after you graduate or after you leave, they give you that lump sum. So like you just said, you threw the number 300,000. They don't give it to him before the year. They give it to him once he leaves. They save it for him and they give it to him once he leaves. What do you think about that?
I think that's what they do now. So you got to look at it as the situation is only corrupt because, like, the coaches are breaking the rules. But let's just say whatever they're doing right now, if they could legalize it, maybe college basketball would still be saved, and the academic part of it probably wouldn't be harmed. Because let's just say, like, they said one of the players, like Dennis Smith Jr., got like 48,000.
Right.
So let's just say, for the players like him, they get 48,000 and they leave after 1 year. But then they got the students like Kyle Kuzma that played for 4 years and went to the NBA and actually is on the Lakers and doing good. But those type of student athletes won't be affected. So they have to come up with a solution, but it can't be just like a free fall. Because then if that's the case, right, Texas will have all the best players, all the schools in Texas, because they have all the oil money boosters. So let's just say if LeBron James was going to college and he was on the open market, the biggest payday would be in Texas. So now you would see there would be no competition in college basketball because the Texas schools would take it every year because they have the biggest boosters. They have all your money.
So you're in between. You kind of think it should be paid, but you could also say that they shouldn't.
I mean, they should get paid because the NCAA is making billions of dollars off of these children.
But are you counting tuition?
The tuition, it depends on what school it is. If certain schools cost more than other schools. So you look at it like, say for instance, the University of Alabama, the tuition is like $40,000 a year, and if you're a resident of Alabama, it's about $20,000 a year. I know this because my daughter is going to go there to do to graduate school for law. So
is this the daughter that took you to the Lakers game?
Excuse me?
Is this the daughter that took you to the Lakers game?
Yes. My oldest daughter, yes.
Okay. So she's...
But the point
Okay, go ahead.
The point I was trying to make is each school's tuition is different, so it won't vary on the same. Like a normal college, at a good school, a college tuition should be about $200,000, $250,000 with everything. So, but that's in certain schools. Like I don't believe University of Syracuse probably wouldn't be as much to go to as like the University of Alabama or, certain higher learning institutes. So it all depends. But then there's a bigger component to this whole thing.
And what's that?
Okay. Basketball is, I think about 80% African American to play in the NBA, and football is 70% African Americans to play in the NBA. Those are the only two programs in where you have to go to college first before you can enter their league. And it's putting out the statement that we have to make money off you first before you make money.
Do you believe in minimum wage?
I wouldn't. I would think now that's borderline slavery.
Minimum wage? For
a college athlete, because to pay them minimum wage as much money as they making, you might as well just give them their scholarship. Either way, it's slavery, but you got to look at it as baseball has a farm system. Every other sport you can play without that loophole, but the black dominated sports, the NCAA has to make money off you first before you can actually make a check. But at 18, you can go and fight a war. You can do a whole bunch of things in the country.
Yeah, so I see it as, like, I believe in the minimum wage concept. And I believe that when we're talking about paying NCAA athletes, I believe like the 12th man on the basketball team, I see that scholarship should be the minimum wage. And as you go up as far as value on the team, you should be paid on top of your scholarship, whatever number that is. But I believe, like, I don't think that every player should be paid. Because a scholarship, that's a lot of money. Like, you pay a kid $20,000 a year to play ball, and they don't even do anything with it after. I think that's impressive.
Yeah, but you got to understand something. The NCAA signs billion-dollar TV contracts, and without the players playing, they won't get that money. Just imagine if the players boycotted the tournament this year. What would happen? Like, look at the ramifications of that.
But
like,
who needs
they
more?
boycotted the NCAA. They will have to sit down and talk.
More? Do the colleges need the players more, or do the players need the colleges more?
They need the players more. Now, this is what I would do. I would say that the college players need a union to represent them. And whichever way this situation comes out, they have a union and a representative to sit at the table and fight for them. The college players doesn't have a union. They don't have no one to speak on their behalf as far as what is right and what is wrong. Because both of our opinions is just that, opinion. We're not student athletes. So you, from their side of the spectrum, they might need a union to say, okay, this is a workplace, and this is what we will accept, and this is what we won't accept. Start doing a collective bargaining agreement with the NCAA since they're making money off of them. Because then you got to look at it like this. If they took the tuition away and paid them, and then they had to pay their tuition, they wouldn't go to school probably anyway.
See, I like that. I like that perspective also. If you take away the tuition and just pay them a flat out however amount, I think that would be dope too. So yeah. They got to figure something out because, well, are you against them doing it the way that they're doing it now, like sneaking and paying some of the players?
I'm not against it because obviously it's been going on for a long time and it hasn't affected the student athlete. That's really where my concern is at. Just the students that want to get an education and want to have the college experience, the campus life and things of that nature. They shouldn't be affected because of the 64 children that's going to get drafted out of thousands and thousands of kids that go to college. They shouldn't be affected by that experience because of their future. 64 kids go in the NBA, and I don't know how many rounds it is in the NFL, but it's 30 teams. If you say, 5 rounds or 4 rounds?
Right.
That's 120 players. So if you round it out of the two sports, it's not even 200 players. Or it is 200 players. The math, let's just cap it at 200 players every year. 200 is a small amount compared to the thousands that play NCAA sports and have to get their education and their degree to be somebody in life. So the sport helps the other percentage of children that can't make it to the league and get them an education and a career. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
Those are the people, because that's the majority. The athletes that go to the NBA in the NFL are the minority in college sports. So you really have to have the interest. Your best interest has to be with the majority. So the majority of the players who play sports and get a college education and a degree and go on to do great things in life, it's more of them than it's more of the athletes.
See, I also think, like, if they were to pay these college students, I also believe they should have to stay for 4 years. Like, and if you leave within 1 or 2 years, you just don't get the money. If you go professional, you don't get the money. But I think that would be a great way to keeping them, to making sure that they get that education. If you stay, that's a great incentive. You keep them there 4 years, you get $400,000 once you get your diploma, and then you go to the league.
But you see, that's why it's a bad situation, because it's not just a job. In sports, you sign a contract. So say, for instance, like if you sign your first rookie deal, you sign for 4 years. So now in college, what would be the contract? Like what you just said, the average to get your degree is 4 years in college. So now if you sign a 4-year deal and they paying you, but if you could go to the NBA in 1 year, you get what I'm trying to say? How it's dicey. So why would you sign a contract if, again, I'm going to use his name, if you're LeBron James and the NBA has a 19-year-old rule